afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cat and Cal show. I'm Cat.
And I'm Cal. Have we got an action-packed show for you today? We have a special guest, the one and only ex-Taoiseach Leo Varadkar. We'll be discussing with him all his highs and lows. And he'll be telling us how he sneaked out the back door after destroying our country.
Not the first time he slipped out a back door, eh?
And now to the news.
Today's headlines. The farming world has been shook today with the news that they have been instructed to cull entire herds of cows due to extreme flatulence causing severe climate change. Since the news broke, sharting, or anal leakage as it's known in the cow community, is on the rise, with some sources blaming the far right. McDonald's has not been affected by this news. The good news is Bill Gates has swooped in yet again with another solution to depopulate the herd and replace them with insects. This isn't his first rodeo, folks. Is it nice?
Better than meat.
It tastes good in the barbecue? Yeah, okay. In other news, Ireland has been given 1 year to remove all petrol and diesel cards off the road due to severe climate change. However, there will be an increase of electric cars to buy due to the rising genocide of Congolese children who are kidnapped and then enslaved to mine for the perfect materials for your climate-friendly car. But you haven't heard about that yet because it's not trending. Now, for the weather. You get to talk next week.
I was supposed to say that. I was supposed to say now for the better.
Good evening, Ukrainians, transgenders, and of course our unvetted illegal immigrant friends. Hope you're having a great sleep in your iPass centres tonight. As you can see, it's very hot here in Ireland today with a bit of rain, and by Monday it's freezing again. But thank God for those planes that are spraying us every day to make sure they protect us from these climate changes. It gets warmer again today on the Monday, as you can see, and a bit more rain. This would be the perfect time to have your second or third booster if you haven't had one. And then tonight we'll be back on at 6 o'clock. Now the Angelus tonight will be replaced by the call to prayer, so we're looking forward to that, and talk to you then.
What kind of questions are you going to ask me today?
Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be nothing too heavy. And anyway, look, you can always just blame the far right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. By the way, are we still out for tonight?
Yeah.
It's a swingers party with Norma.
Are we double dipping?
That's great. Norma Matt will be looked at.
Oh, lovely.
We won't go there.
And now, with our special guest, everyone's favourite ex-Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar. Welcome, Leo. We're also excited to hear about how the highs and lows are going for you after being Taoiseach.
Thanks. That's great. Thanks for having me on. It's fantastic to be here. I obviously I've been enjoying the high life since I retired. Me and Matt have having the whale of a time. Plenty of clubs and parties. Plenty of parties and clubs, and going to different meetings with Jerry Adams and talking about how we can get rid of the Irishness in Irish culture. Sounds
fantastic. Obviously, you were in charge during the pandemic years. Right. Yeah. So how do you think you did?
It was a very difficult situation to be in, obviously, but the plan was put in front of me by Klaus Schwab, and basically, I think we did a really good job. It was difficult, obviously there was a lot of people going to die, and once we got that juice into the arms, the excess deaths went through the roof, I think about 20%. So I think it was a fantastic job there.
What have you got to say about the elderly being rammed into nursing homes with only end-of-life care as their only option? Were you just sick of the coffin dodgers, or? I think
that was great. Obviously, we just put them in there with the virus, and we gave them, we were told,
the hospitals were empty, Leo.
That's great. We gave the staff in hospitals a few months off, and maybe a year off. We didn't have to do much. But in the nursing homes, we wanted to lower the pensions. So we gave the old people midazolam, morphine, and even if they were healthy, we gave it to them anyway. And I think the rest of the country actually did really well out of it because of that.
And do you find that, sedating all the patients really helped the nurses perfect their TikTok dances?
That's right. It was very important that they got their dancing choreographed perfectly to show the world that they're good dancers.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. And the guards, fair play to them, they did some great dancing too at the time.
So, Leo, there's a rise in women feeling very unsafe in Ireland at the moment when they're out and about and in their homes. So what would your advice be?
Well, obviously, that's unfortunate. And I know it's like to be attacked. I've been attacked a number of times the last few years from my boyfriend Matt, because I ripped him off. And as he went into attack, look, for me, I've been doing karate lessons. And that could be really helpful to get attacked. Karate, judo, or if that doesn't work, you can buy a flick knife or watch some Cobra Kai on Netflix, and that could help.
That's some great advice there, Leo. So just my final question. Overall, what direction do you see the country going right now?
All small businesses will close down, which is great. We'll probably have digital ID, so nobody can get away with anything. We'll have a cashless society. And also, of course, HB's law, so we can't be slagging off these illegal immigrants coming in. And I think the rise in karate is going to be huge in women.
Great. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Straight from the horse's mouth. The highs and lows, probably more highs than lows, from our ex-Taoiseach Leo Varadkar. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Leo. That was great.
That was great, I have to say. There's a line there for you after this when we're ready.
And give back.
But thanks very much.
No worries. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Are you waking up in the morning feeling anxious, depressed? You feel like you can't go on. These are the symptoms of somebody who needs another drink. Another drink will get you through the day. You'll be able to go to work with a smile on your face. You'll be able to look at your kids and say, I love you. Another drink to keep you going.
Testicles, 1, 2, 3, testicles.
Everything is just so woke in this country. Like, I mean, Ireland, it must be one of the most woke countries in Europe. You look at our political system, it's so left. Like, it's gone so left, it's like farcical. Like, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, everything is wrong, and you can't literally say anything.
But it's like Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael they're down as right-wing parties. They couldn't be anything further than right-wing. Like, it's mental. And the cancellation of, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to cancel toothpaste next for people that have no teeth in case they get offended?
Well, it's white.
Like,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
It's literally like, if something's white, it should be cancelled.
Cancel it.
You know, it's like, oh, we've white privilege now. What?
Yeah.
What about all the fucking poor
Yeah.
people in working class people?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got white privilege.
White people are now between 7 and 15% of the whole world population, right?
Yeah, I know. People don't realise that.
They say 7% are like full Caucasian, and then the rest, the other 8% that's there is like people who might be mixed race but identify as white. They might be white passing, as they say. That's the thing.
Yeah, you can identify as what you want these days.
We're the minority.
Exactly.
We are the minority.
Yeah. The other thing about going back to the Michera thing is, right, is everybody they're calling right-wing, are against illegal men being flooded into the country, which is human trafficking.
Yeah.
That's what they're against.
Yeah.
They're not against migrants. You know what I mean? If people are working here for a long time and paying their taxes, as we said before, our resources are being used up, and I don't think we can keep bringing people in. We need to look after our own first. But that's only natural. That's for every single country. That's
5 years ago, this wasn't even a topic.
Oh, stop.
Nobody was bothered by it because it wasn't an issue. And as much as, yes, our country, you know, always needed, our government has been shit for 100 years and always needed help. But do you think bringing more people in and putting more pressure on all of the resources is going to help or hinder? Like,
it's absolutely madness, because they're having basically a festival which is like Irish singers, dancers, music.
I'm now going just out of pure spite because they told me not to. The only time we had trouble in anything to do with anti-immigration was when 3 children got stabbed. That's the only time.
Well, hold on, they've just, like, after COVID came along, right? And then, of course, when you talked out against these jibby jabs and you said they may be unsafe, they're a trial, the government and the pharmaceutical companies are not indemnified, they were shut down, as tinfoil hatters and conspiracy theories, which you can see clearly they weren't tinfoil hatters because you can see the excess deaths gone through the roof and there's a lot of damage being done, right?
I said it from the start. It was the nursing homes. It was to cull the elderly and anyone that was costing the government money. They wanted to cull the herd.
Exactly. And now they've labelled people who are anti-illegal immigrants far right. So, and people are falling for this
the way
trap.
It's the same people that were shouting at us in COVID, the same people doing the shouting now.
Yeah, but these people, and I hate to say this, are very, very weak-minded. And I think that goes back to Irish history and the fact they've been raped and pillaged for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And they're just used to, I know it sounds a bit crude, they're used to taking up the arse.
Dry.
Had to go that step, extra step. They're so used to being trodden on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where this woke culture comes from, when everybody's offended by everything. The great thing is we can't be cancelled.
We're already cancelled. We can't ourselves
because we're for freedom of speech.
And I'm going to say again, the extreme left, most left-leaning people are just perfectly normal people getting on with their lives. It's a very small number of people who are really, really loud that are causing these issues. Like,
I'm sure a lot of them are obviously affiliated with political parties or their friends' political parties. You know what I mean?
40,000 NGOs in the country now.
And they're all pushing the right direction. I know that NGO business is total money laundering. It's the most, it's like what goes on in Ukraine, full of money laundering. Yeah. And we'll touch on that in a minute, but it's a scandal what's going on. Even when you see what's going on with remember the bike, what's called the bike rack. How much is that? How much
335.
And somebody got all those. Somebody got the this quote. There's a quote there. Do you know what I'll do? I'll take the quote for 330.
Yeah. Who even comes up with a quote that high anyway? Like, I saw another couple of lads got cancelled at the Fringe Festival, Richie Sheehy and
I know, I met Richie for a good lad actually.
They're Irish comedians anyway, and they were at Fringe and they had a satirical poster about Diddy. That was what they were kind of taking the piss out of. And of course the feminazi got their
did a video, didn't
tampons in a twist, and now those men got cancelled.
I see Richie's stuff, I follow him on TikTok. I actually thought that post about being cancelled was satire itself.
Yeah, I rang Callum and he was like, no, that's satirical, no.
And I literally had to ring somebody who knows Richie to go, was that actually true? Like, did he really get cancelled? And he did. So he lost a lot of money because they would have been quite popular. They do good sketches.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the stuff.
Yeah, they're very quirky and they're unique. I like it.
Yeah.
But I thought, that's madness. Like, that's absolutely crazy.
You can't police what people find funny. Comedy is so diverse. Like, there's going to be thousands of people that don't get what we're doing and have no clue. But there's also going to be thousands that do get what we do and do find it funny. And why can't you just let people enjoy what they find funny? Nobody is out with pitchforks or...
It's but the brainwashing of the mainstream media is serious. Like, people are just reading the Times. There's all that junk's going into their face. The mainstream media news and RTE. It's just... I listen to the radio and it sounds like satire. It's such bullshit, made up bullshit on the radio. I have to switch it off. I can't listen to it. I've heard Brendan O'Connor going in, and what are you doing with all those conspiracy theories? Yeah. Oh, just don't talk to them about anything because you don't want them going down those rabbit holes. I'm going, is this for fucking real? And you're actually having a serious conversation.
Oh, what's happening in the old news today, I wonder? Thank you, Claire. Lies, 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 lies. Lies, 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 lies. Lies, lies, lies. Fear, 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 fear. Fear, 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 fear. And in other news, bullshit, 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 bullshit. Lies, lies, lies. Fear, fear, fear.
I make a lot of uncomfortable conversations happen around people. And you can see people getting uncomfortable. The amount of funding that the government gives all the media, the newspapers, like the local newspapers, say down in Leitrim, the amount of funding, they're all getting tens of thousands off the government. So they're an arm of the government. Exactly. All the media is...
You know what the irony is, right? So they're getting tens of thousands to keep their mouth shut and get paid. Like, it's same with people who are investing in these iPass centres. They're getting their money. They're happy to betray their own country. But NGOs is non-government organisation.
It's a literal contradiction. The stuff they said about the Misha Era Festival, how can you come out and say such things without any proof or basis? You've nothing to back up what you're saying. There's never been any trouble at any of the marches.
No.
There's never been any trouble at any of the gatherings. Do you know who has got arrested at marches and stuff? The left.
Well, yeah, but they actually very...
But they're the ones that bring the violence.
They're very angry people.
Yeah.
Like, they're very angry. And I do think there's mental health issues there as well. And I'm actually being serious, but what I think they're afraid of with Mission Area is there's that many people going. So the last count was 700. Now,
oh my God, is revenue? Is there going to be revenue in the county?
Well, the thing about it is, right, the numbers are going, and all those people connecting, like-minded people connecting, and that can only get bigger and bigger and bigger. And more people want to get involved in that.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah.
Right, we see how that goes. Even though I heavily disagree with what the extreme left say, I still believe in their right to say it. And their right to protest what they want to protest. You don't see any of our crew rocking up to the Palestine protests and counter-protesting.
Look, at the end of the day, it's divide and conquer. They want left, they want right, they want everybody. They don't want everybody in harmony singing from the same. Exactly, left, right is all
left, right, all wings of the same bird.
Totally created. This is a total. It's created to put them in a stronger position. The powers that be. So that's what it is. So I just want to quickly touch on something a little bit serious, but I saw a video and actually was really disturbed. I think you saw it as well. And it was basically in Ukraine. And it was a father with his two children. They were screaming. Two girls, and they're being chased by the Ukraine army. And I believe this has been happening all over the war. Like, and they were basically wanted to pull them out and drag them to the army. Now, the figures are now that 1.7 million men have died since the Ukraine war started. And I know I've took the piss in terms of our character Alex, but that was literally because there's some Ukrainians who are bouncing from Poland and Europe who are not part of the war.
That's against the scammers. Like, there's a lot of like scammers and in any sort of crisis, you're going to get people taking advantage of a crisis. That's who we're taking the piss out of, not who is actually in the war. That shouldn't have to be explained.
So Alex is a scammer, so you know that. So people might go, well, that's a bit harsh, but Alex, we always say Alex came from Poland, so we're here to scam the system, which loads of people do. But we're just having a laugh at that. But we're by no means laughing at what's going on in Ukraine.
No, of course not. Like, and there's men getting dragged off the street. They're just walking down the road, and they're a man with his children. I was quite disturbed because hearing the children scream, and the army fella comes up and he smashes the back window where the child is. The little girl's about 6 or 7. Soldier smashes the window where the child is, and then all you hear is screams. And from what I can assume, that father, those children are now fatherless. He's just dragged out, just going on a normal run, going to the shop or going to get something out of the shop, and then you get pulled off the street and dragged into a war.
They're animals, like Zelensky, the hero.
He's a dictator. He's no better than any. This is why wars are started by greedy men with small willies. And that's just how it is. That could be
very true. Or the fact there's a lot of resources in Ukraine, and they've been known to be a very corrupt country. If you look at the mainstream media, if you go look at it, before the war, it was Ukraine, corruption.
Yeah.
And then obviously Putin
They're known scammers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to call it...
Not all.
Sorry, I don't want to call Ukraine scammers, because I know I've got friends from Ukraine, believe it or not, and they're good people. But
it's got a reputation.
But and you can drive lots of stuff too. The Americans like to do that kind of thing, and then you had the Donbass region where the Russians were living in the Ukraine who wanted to be part of Russia. So it's a big conflict there.
It's a grey area. Yeah, it's a grey area, and unless you're from that part of the world and are actually living it, you don't really know. But Ukraine is a big country, and they have plenty of room. I saw one girl on TikTok. She was a Ukrainian living here, and people were saying, you know, why didn't you go to a safer part in Ukraine? And she said, like, well,
no corruption.
They wouldn't get housed. And it's like, but you're coming here and we have no houses.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's where the anger comes from, because they're people who were getting looked after. They're getting those modular houses. They're called modular, putting together. Like, they wouldn't put those houses up that quick for our own Irish homes.
Yeah.
So that's why people were really angry.
Where the anger comes from.
It's the government. It's the government's making lots of money out of this.
Yeah.
So we should always target our anger on the government. Yeah. You know, never lose sight of that.
The people that are taking advantage of the system, that's always going to happen in any sort of war, anywhere. You're always going to get. But Ireland, it has become a dumping ground for everybody. They go through all these countries or whatever, and then they land in Ireland, and Ireland gives them a soft place to fall, and that's why they keep continuing to come from all over the world. That's why they keep continuing.
It's funny because Leo Varadkar, he said that he actually said, they're bouncing from one place to the other to get to Ireland.
Yeah.
Where initially he denied that, and then even it reminds me because they always like tell you the truth, and you're going, all right,
Yeah,
and
they tell on themselves. Like,
yeah, and then like even during COVID, he started saying that if you've been knocked down by a bus and die, you're put down as a COVID.
Yeah.
He even admitted that, like, and even
I saw that in the hospitals myself.
Madness.
Like people with cancer being put down as dying of COVID.
Yeah, and it's like, but the cognitive dissonance, people just look and go, and they walk away and say nothing.
They trust the mainstream media, and like that goes back to what we're saying, the amount of funding they get. But you can't, when people like, you know, the likes of the older generation, they aren't on social media to see that it's not the case. Some of them aren't on it, so they'll blindly believe because it's only, you only have the one station. You have RTE, and then you have Virgin Media. Like, what else are they supposed to believe? Do you know what I mean?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, just turn off the TV.
Yeah, and watch us.
Tune in to Woke Up Ireland with Kat and Cal.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I nearly killed a man with my vagina?
No.
Would you like a little story?
I've never heard this. Honestly, I've never heard this. Yeah, go for it.
I said to him, I'm going to tell a little story.
Death by vagina.
Death by fanny juice.
Go ahead.
So anyway, so I was dating this guy. He was Serbian. Where's Serbia? Is that Eastern Europe?
Yugoslavia. Used to be part of Yugoslavia, I think.
Is it Eastern
We'll cut that. It's not. It's beside China.
So we were dating for a few weeks, and it came to that time we were going to do the no pants dance, you know.
Okay.
And
first dates, yeah?
Yeah, no, not the first date. I didn't do it on the first date.
Second date.
He had made me dinner, and I went over to his place and whatever, and the dinner was lovely and all that, and we were just chilling, and it was kind of, you know, a bit heavy petty and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So after we done the deed, pump squirt, you know yourself. I'm lying on his arm, and he starts to go, "Oh, my arm is dead. Like, just let me move my arm." So I was like, "Okay." Then he starts getting a pain in his arm.
No way.
So he sits up then, and he's kind of getting a bit animated, you know. Now, I only know this guy a few weeks, we're only dating a few weeks, so there's a little bit of a language barrier. Going, oh, my arm, what is this? What's happening? Naturally.
He didn't give him a gummy.
Next minute, he's on the floor on his hands and knees.
Definitely a gummy.
Crawling around, going, why is this happening to me? Why is this So I'm kind of edging towards the door, kind of, you know, looking to escape, because in my head I've been kidnapped and put into the back of a car, and I've been driven up the mountains or being trafficked or something. So
you're dying, bye!
So I'm like, are you okay? Do you want me to do anything? Can I ring it out? No, he's wrong. I start to think, this fucker just wants me to go because he's gotten his hole. Like, that's what this is all about, you know what I mean?
You made love, you mean?
So I kind of went, all right, I'm going to go. I'll give you a text tomorrow. So he's like, yeah. And he's rolling around on the floor, like, you know what I mean? Clearly in need of medical attention, but I didn't know it was just general
Thanks for the ride.
So I go home, I text him later, and I say, you know, are you okay? And I text him about a half an hour later, and he's like, yeah, pain is still bad, you know.
Pain's still bad.
Pain's still bad. So I was like, okay, get well soon. Anyway, next morning, didn't hear from him, and I kind of was like pissed off. I was like, Jason, didn't you need to do all them dramatics to get me to leave? I was like, I would have just gone. I texted him, and he sent me back a picture of himself in hospital.
No way.
Hooked up to a heart monitor.
Fuck off. He'd
had a heart attack.
No
and
way.
had 4 stents put in his heart.
Did you give him a jib jab?
I swear to God, he was only 36.
You wrote the heart attack out.
Ride or die. New meaning.
Seriously?
Yeah, swear to God.
That's mad.
Sent me a picture of himself. I had a heart attack. So his name was Zach. So I renamed him Heart Attack.
He was allergic to her vagina juice.
Allergic reactions.
Oh my God.
No, don't want that.
Mental.
Yeah. Anyway, on that note, hope you enjoyed it.
On that bombshell. It's going to take me an hour to get over that. Can't get visions. Subscribe and like our channel.
Yes. All engagement is welcome. You can put in the comments on Spotify and YouTube if you want us to discuss anything, or if you want a topic brought up that you think would be interesting. Throw it in. We're open to all suggestions.
Any questions that come in, we'll look at them all, and then if there's something interesting, we'll pluck it out and put it here.
Yes, definitely.